to Connecting with Metro for the Disabled Veteran Business Enterprises, or DVBEs. This is a Metro Contractor Development and Bonding Program, and the program is administered by Meriwether and Williams Insurance Services, a Hub International company. My name is Angela Gibson Shaw, and I'm the Outreach Coordinator for the Metro DVBE program, and welcome to today's program.
It was brought to you by FanDuel.
Okay, if we could have everyone go on mute if you're not on program. And to all the veterans on the call, thank you for your service. All righty, so let's take a look at our agenda today. And we have Miss Rena. Okay, so I'm currently doing our opening remarks. We're going to hear from Jan Davis with LA Metro. We'll hear from Carlos, who will give us an overview of the program. We'll have one of the program advisors who will talk about all of the benefits of the program. We'll take a poll. We want to be very interactive. You've got the chat box. That's where you can put your questions. That's where you can introduce yourself. But then we'll hear from some of the program participants who are currently in the program being groomed for the contracts at Metro. Then we'll hear from someone that is part of an organization involving LA veterans or involving veterans in LA, and they'll talk about resources. Then we'll do some Q&A, and then we'll close with some closing remarks. How does that sound? Very good. So while we get ready for our first speaker, let's see, is Jan here? Do we see Jan? Okay, well, while we're waiting and looking for our speakers and lining them up, why don't we do a little virtual networking? And feel free to put your contact information in the chat box there. Let folks know who's in the room. I understand they call that sound off, right? The veterans. And so please feel free to put your information in the room. Someone in this room needs what you have. So put your contact information, name, company, email, what product you provide. And so that way you can see who you're looking for, and then they can look for you. All righty. And as we go along the program, every now and then we're going to stop and answer some questions. And the questions are going to be answered by Meriwether and Williams Insurance Contractor Development Manager, Renata Torres. And Renata is one of the managers with the program that will work directly with you to ensure that you are contract ready and ready to do business. Thank you, Renata, for helping us out today. As I mentioned, we have Rena handling our audio visuals. And did Jan join us yet? Nope. Okay. Well, then we will go right to Carlos, and we'll bring Jan in when she arrives. So it's my pleasure to introduce Carlos Ray. He is the Client and Community Relations Manager at Meriwether and Williams Insurance Services. Carlos, the Zoom room is yours.
All right. Thank you, Angela. Can everybody hear me okay? Can you hear me okay?
Yes. Yes.
Good, good. So thank you guys for being here this afternoon. I got a short presentation just about the contractor development and bonding program. But just enough to give you some information, but we would love for you at the end of this, if you have questions, need information, need help, to definitely just reach out to us, and we can definitely answer any questions you have and provide any resources and services that we may have. So next slide. So a little bit about Meriwether. It's just a full service property and casualty employee benefits insurance brokerage firm, do a line risk management specialty programs, probably most known for the contractor development programs up and down the state of California, and a couple of states across the country as well. We've been doing this for quite a while now, almost 30 years. So what we've seen is we've helped small and emerging contractors obtain about $1 billion in bond transactions, $1 billion in bond transactions, which we're very excited and proud about. But one of the main things we're excited about and proud of is the loss ratio on those is less than 0.1% or 0.1%. So we found that when having the right help for what we present in our program, contractors are able to get work, but also complete it successfully. And so to that end, we've done 6.4 million also in contract-based financing loans, and I'll talk a little bit about that in just a few slides. Next slide. So the mission of the program is really to just reduce barriers of bonding capacity and enable greater successful participation of small, local, and disabled veteran-owned businesses and public contract opportunities. Basically, what we're here to do is help give you the support that you need as a DVBE to get public contracting opportunities and find work for your company. And we do that through what we call the 4 pillars of contractor development, which I'll go through in the next few slides. But before we get to that, just a little bit about bonding, because that's a big part of what we do. So just like some quick things about it. It's a 3-party agreement that guarantees that a contract gets completed. Unlike insurance, it doesn't expect losses. It also does not necessarily protect you, but another party. And then you have to qualify for it. So like insurance, you can just go buy insurance. You can't buy a bond, and you have to actually qualify for it. So that's one of the things we can help you with, getting in touch with the surety and working that whole process through. It's mandated by law on all public works projects, whether federal or local or state. And one of the things that it can do to help you is act as a pre-qual instrument for your ability. So as your bonding capacity grows, that speaks to the types of projects that you're able to handle. So that's just a few things about bonding, just some basic information to cover that. We also do a larger workshop on it where we get more into the weeds of it, what you have to provide and how it works, all those types of things. Next slide. All right, so our first pillar is assessment and technical assistance. Once you enroll in the program, you get a dedicated contractor development manager. That person is going to pretty much be like your account manager, if you will. It's probably a more familiar term. That person is going to be your go-to for everything that we offer. They'll help you with a business assessment. They'll from there put together a work plan. So that first conversation you have, they're going to ask you a bunch of questions, get all up in your business about what you want to do, how you want to do it, where you want to do it, and they will actually put together a work plan based on your business and what you want to do. So it's customized. It's not a cookie cutter thing that you'll be doing, but they'll really customize it to you and your goals. And then from there, they'll help you build a contractor profile, which is like a 1-page marketing sheet, and then facilitated bid opportunity referrals. So we'll help you find opportunities, bid on them, refer you to those, and make sure that you're aware of the type of work that you want to do that's coming down from the different agencies. Next slide. So the second pillar is bonding, contract financing, and project assistance. So as I mentioned, we can help you secure and increase your bonding capacity, provide access to collateral support for bid performance and payment bonds, CPA subsidies when you have to prepare financial statements. As we know, those things are kind of expensive. So there's a one-time subsidy we can provide to help prepare those statements. We do third-party funds administration. We help you review your contract, provide project support on program bonded contracts. So when you go through us to help facilitate a bond, we can provide support on that project. You can apply for contract financing, which I'll talk about in just a minute. And then we have industry events and information and upcoming projects in our LA Contractor Weekly newsletter. So that comes out every Wednesday, which has all the up-to-date updates, information, project opportunities, events, anything you would want to know that's going on in the industry. You probably will want to make sure you get signed up for that newsletter. It's just a one-click thing, and you can see all that information every week directly in your inbox. Next slide. Okay, so with our project support, what we do is at the project kickoff, we'll have a meeting. We'll have a job start checklist for you so you know how to get started and get everything set up. And what we'll do is we'll also provide some reports for you. So that's through monthly.
Hey, good afternoon. How you doing, Mike?
Oh, can we have you go on mute? What we'll do
Oh,
is
it's
we'll
awesome.
have some monthly
I'm glad
check-ins.
you took some time off.
Yeah.
Get out of there for a little bit.
And also we'll review the schedule with you, your construction schedule, so you know where you come in at, where you're supposed to be done, and what impacts you may have or may provide if you're not on time. So we'll go through all that with you. We'll do site visits so we can provide reports, help with anything that's going on site. We have experienced project managers who's been in the game for decades that have seen everything from small businesses to large GCs. So we have people that have experience that are able to help you in that area. And then also a big thing I know for everybody is change orders. So we can help you with those as well. Next slide. Okay, so I talked a little bit about our contract financing program. This is what we do to help people that maybe not able to go into a traditional lender and get a loan. So there's a few things you want to know on the left. That's probably some of the most important things. One, for contract financing, you have to be enrolled in our program. And then two, you have to be pre-qualified for it to work before you bid. It uses construction contracts only, so only construction contracts, or if you have a construction contract, would you be available for it? And then we allocate funds based on approved projects only. So we have 2-day workshops that we always have to walk you through all of that. It goes through everything. You can get up to $250,000 per project. But the good thing about it is the money is released as needed. So we don't just hand you 250 and say, hey, good luck and pay us back, whenever. But we actually just release it as you need it. So you may qualify for 250, but you may only need 100 or something like that. And so it's really a great program. It helps a lot of people get started, build their business, build their capacity to grow their business. And similar to what bonding does, it can help you improve your likelihood of getting future capital from a traditional lender. So you can walk into a bank and say, hey, I've been doing this in this program for so long. Here's what I've been able to do. And that can help you leverage your work and your success. So that's the contract financing assistance program for construction contracts. Next slide. So the other part of contract financing, we have an agreement with the City of LA, works on professional service contracts. So if you're in the process of being awarded a professional service contract, you can utilize this program as well. This one offers a max of up to 300,000. So that is a great opportunity if you are in that lane. Some of you may be, some of you may not be not, but just wanted to share that information with you. Pretty much works the same way. We do have workshops for this as well, so it'll walk you through everything that you need to know, how to sign up, how to get pre-qualified, what information they'll be looking for. A couple of major things is one, I mentioned you have to be in the process of being awarded a contract. Your business has to be in the city or county of LA, and then also you have to hold a registration with the business and tax in the city of Los Angeles. You have to have a business and tax registration with the city of Los Angeles to be qualified or even considered for this program for professional services. And you can find more information at procurela.com/financing. Next slide. Okay, our third pillar, which is what a lot of people come to us through, is our workshops, coaching, and education that we offer. So we do training academies about 4 a year on bidding and estimating, contract award and management, job start, how you actually get started and get up and running when you get a contract, and then OSHA 30. So I think we just wrapped OSHA 30 up, I believe. So you or someone on your team has the opportunity to get that certification through our program. We also do contract support. So we will attend pre-bids. Some of you may have seen us at pre-bids. We'll help you with bid document review. So we'll review the bids with you, all the plan specs, help you identify risks, what documents are required, and then work with you to put that. We don't respond or we don't help with numbers because that's up to you. But we do help you just make sure that
Yes.
and then we'll do a debrief. So whether you get awarded or not, you'll get a debrief and you can figure out what went wrong, what went right, how you can, do better next time or what to, answer any questions that you may have afterwards. And then once you get the contract, we'll help you review it. We have legal as well that can help you review that to make sure you're understanding what you're agreeing to. Because, that could be the difference between you making a profit or doing a free project. So just some of the resources and services that we provide through the program. Next slide. And then the last pillar is the Prime Partnership Program. So this is our strategic alliance with some of the larger GCs, larger organizations in the industry, helping you to get connected, referrals. When they have projects, they'll come to us and ask for different um, different contractors and different types of contractors. And so we'll provide the list that we have. They'll also come and teach at some of our academies. We have networking with public agencies and other contractors as well. So really just trying to create a community, trying to show people that, the community is small, but once you get to know and get to know who everybody is, that is really what can help make or break whether you get a project or not. So it's really important to network and build community around what you're trying to do. The next slide. And that's it. So here's the contact information. If you have any questions, feel free to call or email us. If you'd like to enroll, I usually get the question, how much is it? It's actually free. There's no cost to it. All of our services are free outside of the financing assistance, but everything else we offer, there's no cost to you. So please, if you have any questions, need more information, just need anything from us, here's our information. Please feel free to reach out to us, and one of our team members will definitely assist you as best they can. So thank you all for your time, and enjoy the rest of the workshop.
All righty. Thank you, Carlos. So that was some great information about some of the resources that you'll be able to benefit from when you join the Contractor Development and Bonding Program that's sponsored by Metro and administered by Merriweather and Williams Insurance Services. So we are grooming folks to get ready to participate in the procurement and contracting at public and private sector levels. And so I see there's a question here when you said a person had to be an SBE. Is that an SBE with LA Metro? Or do you, I don't know, Renata, can you see the rest of that?
Yes. Yes. So Metro has their own SBE certification application. They don't recognize another agencies. So we can definitely assist you if you need some guidance within that area.
All right, very good. Thank you. Okay, now back to our program. Oh, we got a poll for you. After hearing about all those benefits, we got a question for you. If you can pull that up, Rena, and be a little interactive here. And so take a moment after hearing about the benefits and services. Would you like to enroll in the program? We're going to reach out to you and answer any questions that you may have, provide you with any additional information. Okay, Rena, can you resend the link to Mohammed? He's can't get in. Okay. All right, very good. Okay, so our next speaker is one of our current program participants, and he's Christian Trujillo, and he's with Golden Scaffold, and he's going to take a few minutes and tell us about his experience, about the program and his company and what he does. And Christian, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much for the invite. Do you see my screen?
Yes.
Perfect. Again, my name is Christian Trujillo, and I'm going to share with you my experience with the Contractor Development and Bonding Program. I am in the Air Force Reserve. I enlisted in 2013, and this is a picture of me when I was deployed in Saudi Arabia. I started in the scaffolding industry in 2017, and then I started my own company, Golden Scaffold, in 2023. After doing some research, I found out about the program and I enrolled in 2024. And then in 2025, I attended the Bidding and Estimating Training Academy. And I still have this from the class. I have it on my desk as a reminder. So thank you for this. It is really nice. And then this year, 2026, I was awarded a project for LAGUA. This is the old air traffic control tower. This is a prototype for the Olympics in 2028. And I was also awarded a project for Metro. And this all happened a year after I attended the Bidding and Estimating Training Academy program that was held. I really like all the newsletters that we get weekly. That's how I know about networking events and information like this that I didn't know before. So highly suggested to enroll into the newsletters if you guys haven't. a little bit about the revenue. Since I started with the program, I was able to secure the LA Metro project for $134,000, the LAWA project for $66,000, and an LA County project for $3,500. And this was thanks to having the certifications for small business enterprise, disabled veteran business enterprise, and minority business enterprise. I would say maybe, if not 100% of the project, most projects require to hire small businesses or disabled veteran-owned businesses. So just by having those certifications, you're like one level up of the other bids or the other proposals. My biggest takeaways are, again, getting certified with the agency. So LA Metro has their own certification requirements. LA County, they have their own. The state, they have their own. So make sure that you get certified with each department or county, I would say. And then also for the LA Metro, LA County, etc. And going to networking events. So thanks to the newsletters that I was receiving, I attended a LAGUA, which is the Los Angeles World Airports event. And that's when I met that general contractor that hired me a year after the event. So I attended in 2025 thanks to this program. And then I kept in touch with the GC. A year later, I attended a second presentation for the project, and then we were awarded the LAX project. So following up is huge with the general contractors. They have so much going on that they forget about you. And just because they don't get back to you one time doesn't mean that they forgot. They just have so much on their plate that they just didn't remember that you sent an email a year ago, right? And also paperwork compliant, working at the LAX airport project, it was very paperwork intense with safety and with all the requirements. We had a lot of inspectors, safety inspectors with the city, with the airport, and with the general contractor. So just make sure that before you sign the contract, you reach out to the Contractor Development and Bonding Program to review your contract. That's what I personally did. Thank you, Renata and Rosa, everybody who helped me in the program. And thanks to that, again, I'm registered with the LA County, LA Metro, and with the state. So that was my experience with the program. If you haven't enrolled, I 100% recommend it. And thank you for your service.
All righty. Very good. Thank you, Christian. We appreciate your perspective and your candidness on really navigating and staying in there and following up, because you're right. Folks got a lot they got to do nowadays. And so don't let them forget about you. That's what I took from that, from their comments. Again, thank you so much for being here. All righty. Now at this time, I'd like to introduce our Metro representative, and want to make sure that I get her name right. She's part of the leadership there at Metro. And I'd like to introduce Ms. Jan Davis, and she is the Strategic Business and Construction Career Representative with Metro. And so, hey, Jan, welcome. And tell us a few
Hey.
minutes about what's all that's going on at Metro.
Oh my gosh, and it's so much. And thank you for being patient. I was having a little trouble logging on with my equipment today. I'm not sure what's happening. So I am now calling in from my phone, and I hope you guys can hear me okay. Just kind of give me a thumbs up. But I appreciate being here, and we're ready to get started. I came in on the gentleman that was talking a few minutes ago, and I was so glad to hear about his experience as a DVBE. So I appreciate that too. So time here to gather myself and my notes, because I had to pivot quickly so that I could be a part of this wonderful event. And we just want to tell you a little bit about what we do here at Metro for our disabled veterans in business enterprise, our DVBE program. And so basically, I want to give you a little bit of an overview. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I think we need
Can
to
you
have
guys
somebody
hear me okay?
mute. Uh-huh.
Oh, okay.
Somebody
All
needs
right.
to
I thought
mute.
maybe you're
Yeah.
trying to get my attention. Okay.
No, thank you.
So what we're going to do is we're going to give you an overview of our program. We're going to talk about how our program will benefit our veterans and why vets matter to Metro. And we're going to talk a little bit about how to become eligible. And then I would like to also do a bit of a walkthrough of our small business programs and initiatives, as well as our open solicitations and how to access our solicitations. So first, we want to say that Metro actively works to expand contracting opportunities for disabled business enterprises through its DVBE program. Now, our program has established a 3% contracting goal for all non-federally funded, competitively negotiated goods and services, our low bid contracts over $100,000. Now, there was at one point when I was giving this presentation, someone said that the federal goal is now 4 or 5 or even 6%. But I will say that Metro, what we have established here at Metro is 3%, and that hasn't changed so far. I double checked it, and as far as I know, that is our goal. We're not on the same page as other agencies. So our disabled veterans can benefit from this program because it increases the incentive for non-DVBE primes, okay, our prime contractors to subcontract with DVBE firms, okay? And it also helps and seeks to increase the capacity of DVBEs to take on larger contracts. So veterans matter to Metro. Here's why. Metro recognizes that veterans, first of all, they have served our country. And for those of you that are on the line and you have been or is an active veteran, we want to say thank you, not for your bravery, your courage, and protecting us as a nation, but also you guys are the front line. And so you are leading out the effort, and we appreciate that. So when you return home and become a business owner, we want to respond to the dedication and the hard work that you do that fuel our robust local economy. So our DVBE program is designed to expand your contracting opportunities and support you in successfully bidding on projects. So to become eligible for the DVBE program, you must be a certified, not necessarily with Metro, but with the California Department of General Services, because Metro is not a certifying agency for DVBEs, but we do recognize the DVBEs through the California Department of General Services, DGS, and I'm sure all of you are familiar with that. And your applicants' businesses must be at least 51% owned by one or more disabled veterans. Daily business operations must be managed and controlled by one or more disabled veteran. And for your home office, if your business is in a home office, it must be located in the U.S. So the home office cannot be a branch or a subsidiary of a foreign firm or a foreign-based business. So the principal office must be located in the state of California. And Metro is also working to identify disabled veteran-owned businesses to grow the number of the firms to increase our pool that are available to take advantage of our opportunity. We're always seeking out disabled veterans. And Metro has a commitment to continue to work with veterans organizations and other advocates to make sure that there is an ongoing networking that would continue to build that pool, and that we're able to continue the reach for our disabled veterans so that they can take advantage of our contracting opportunities. So I will say that Metro is one of the first agencies in the county of LA to produce a comprehensive DVBE program. And we are definitely proud to have a great relationship with such agencies as the Disabled Veteran Business Alliance. Okay, and we are definitely here to support you. So let's talk a little bit now about, well, let me ask first, are there any questions for me at this point?
Hi,
If not,
yeah, this is Gene Hale. Can you hear me?
yes, Jean, I can hear you. How are you?
I'm doing well. What about yourself?
Doing great. Thank
Yeah, so I have one question regarding the DVBE goal. Uh,
Yes, sir.
the DVBE goal came from the DOT, right? And
That's right.
the DOT and the federal government has raised that goal to 5%, I think. Yeah. And that was done about a year and a half ago in January of 25, I
Mhm.
believe.
Yes.
Why would MTA not want to do that same goal since it had followed the DOT 3% original goal? Why would it just increase it?
Right.
Would that be helpful for the veterans?
It would be. And I don't have an answer for you on that right at this minute, Jean. But
Yeah,
I did check that for Metro. And as it stands now, that is our current DVBE goal for our contracts that are going out. And right now, I don't have an answer as to why it has not increased or it's not following. But that's something that I can take on and kind of run it up the flagpole to give an answer. And maybe I could provide that answer in writing and
yes.
it could be sent over to all of the participants here today.
That's great. And I think that if
Mhm.
you were to, when you do your research, you'll find that there are a number of agencies across the country that have
Yes,
adopted 6%, 10% DVBE goals. And you will find that
right.
LA Metro and just as LA itself lags behind the country. So yeah, I think that that would be great if you could just trying to get a reason for it.
Absolutely. Well, one of the reasons I know is because we're actually exceeding that 3.6. Yeah, our goal, we're actually exceeding that.
Well, there's
And
not much of a goal to exceed
also
though.
I would provide a some numbers on that to say that even though that is the goal that we have set for ourselves, we're not limited to that. You know what I'm saying? But that is the baseline, and we're not limited to just saying, okay, we've met our 3%, and that's it. We're actually exceeding that in ours. So let me do a little research on that and provide some information back to the agency,
That's right.
and then it's something that we could disseminate because that's an important question, and
Wouldn't
I'll
that be
see what I
something
can
that
find on
TBAC,
that.
wouldn't that be something that TBAC could take up as well?
In what way?
Trying to figure out what the question should be to the agency about why they can't get the goals up, or why won't they do the goals, the increased goals. Is that
Um,
something that TBAC handles or asks about or anything? Do
that
you know?
Oh yeah, absolutely. T-back can they can raise that question as an advisory
Uh-huh.
to Metro. They
Yeah.
absolutely can do that. Yes.
Great,
Okay, great. All
great
right.
idea.
Yep. I'm good.
Yep. Okay. All right. So I wanted to talk to you a little bit about navigating our vendor portal. So I'm really, really, really not happy that I was not able to log on with my laptop because I wanted to do a walkthrough of our vendor portal. And because I wanted to show you how to access the opportunities. But if you want to, kind of make notes, you certainly can. Or if you have your laptop with you, many of you might be sitting in front of your laptop, or some of you may even be on your phones like I am. But if you have your laptop in front of you, I would love for you to go to metro.net/connect. I'll say that again. Oh, look at you. Come on now, Meriwether and Williams. That's what I'm talking about. So yeah, go to metro.net/connect, as you can see there on the page. And then what we would like for you to do is go to our open solicitations. And we're just showing you and walking through how you can navigate the opportunities. Okay, in the meantime, all right. So there you go. You're going to scroll down, and these are the current opportunities that are that Metro has available. And right now, let's see, not too much in the way of construction. However, these opportunities, they change on a daily basis. So what you would do is you would go here to our solicitations, and let's just say, let's see if I can find, yeah, you can just kind of pick one, because it's just going to give us the information that we need or that we're looking for. So let's just pick the very first one. It's the AE 141998. We're going to open that. And I want to bring your attention to a couple of things that are important for this. Now, this is just an example of what you will see when you navigate our vendor portal. So here you have the RFP number, which is the AE 141998. And then after that, it's going to give you the title of the contract. It's going to give you a description. As you can see here, this one is more environmental, I believe. Yes, environmental compliance, CEQA NEPA. That's a tongue twister. But it does have a 3% DVBE goal, and it has a 30% SBE goal. And the due date on this is August 19th. That's important to note. And the bid proposal date is actually today. So if you were part of that or wanting to bid on that, we recommend very, very strongly that when you see that pre-bid date, that you come in and be a part of that, because there's a whole lot of networking that goes in there. And there is you can see who's in the room. You can see the potential bidders. Now, here's the question that we get all the time. Well, by the time they get to the pre-bid, they've already got their teams together. Well, that could be true. So we won't deny that. But the thing that we like to encourage our small businesses is that it never hurts to meet anyone. Because you never know what's coming down the line, especially in our construction packages. Because in our construction packages, we have a whole lot of early work packages that go out and later work packages that go out. So maybe you're not a part of the initial team, but certainly as you network and you make yourself known and available to the bidders or the prime contractors, if you will, then there's not to say that you won't be a part of the later work package. So there's always a setup in it that's available to you. So we want you to take advantage of that. And another important thing about this, as you're looking through and trying to decide which contracts you want to pursue, they have the contract administrator. Now for this one, as you see, it's Stephen Sang, and it has his number and his fax number as well as his email. So let's just say if you're kind of doing some research and trying to determine how you want to go forward for future contracts, this gentleman or this CA person that you see here is the person that you would want to contact, because what you could do is call Stephen or email Stephen and ask him for the bidders list or the plan holders list. And then, so he'll send you a list of all the people that have downloaded this contract, and they, and that would be your tool that you could kind of navigate your way through who's bidding, who will be in the room, where you would fit with what prime, and kind of set yourself up for who's going to be in the room. So that's a good networking strategy, and we encourage it for any and every meeting, that pre-solicitation meeting that we have. So let's go back one, and let's look at, let's see if we can find a construction focus contract. Let's see. Some more operations. Supplies, glass panel. But you know what though? So the other thing is that, I know we're talking about construction specifically in this meeting, but some of you may fit in these other categories. You might fit in the supplier category, or you might fit in the professional services category. So, rather than trying to look and see what construction packages are working, what I would do is just take a look at this daily. And I know that you guys are busy as small businesses, so we acknowledge that too. But a good practice is maybe maybe once a week, or maybe the first part of your day when you're having coffee, because this changes very, very quickly. You can take a look and see what's available, what's coming down the pipe. And also, I want to turn your attention to the events and news tab for the 12-month look ahead. And on the 12-month look ahead, you'll see what's coming down, and it'll also specify the type of contract that it is. And so this is something that you can do for your planning, your future planning, for your company. Say, for instance, let's look at the Metro Command and Control. That is a construction, as you can see here. The department, of course, is program management. The posting date was what was that? That was April of 2026. So let's click into that and see where we are on that. So now this is going to be local funding, okay? So not federal, but local. But so this is a good way to kind of set yourself up for your planning, like what contracts am I going to pursue that Metro has available. So that information in that regard is important to you, because you need to know where the funding is coming from. So on this particular contract that we're looking at, it's not a small business prime set aside, and it is also not, as far as we know, it's not going to have any particular goals on it. So this is going to be very interesting to follow. So there is a project manager that you can contact on that, and he'll be able to give you more information. Now, not this particular one, but as you are looking through and trying to find and set yourself up for planning. Also, the other thing that we want you to take advantage of under our events and news is the actual events page. So we want to keep you informed of all of the Metro Connect events that are happening. And this particular page is going to show you any type of meeting that we have going on here at Metro. It'll show you, especially if we have anything like Meet the Primes, or Lunch and Learn with the Primes, or How to Do Business with Metro, or any type of workshop that we have going on. We'd like for you to stay posted on this, because we want you to make those important networking connections. And then if you would click over to the box on the left of this page under calendar of events and see forums. See if we can get back up there. Scroll back up, and then to your left, you see the forums there. So if you click on that page, then it's going to give you a list of other agencies, other small businesses, or prime contractors that are having networking events. And you can go and be a part of that. Remember, networking is really, really key when you're building relationships with prime contractors. The other thing is, or with other small businesses for possible joint ventures, something like that. So the other thing is you can get information emailed to you directly. So if you go to, like, say, for instance, under Industry Forum or under our Metro Connect page, do you see the button that says subscribe? It's over to the right, right by the print icon for the calendar view. Do you see that there? You're almost there. To your right. There you go. Hit that button. And what we would like for you to do so that you can get information about any events that we're having. You can get a weekly email. Did you hit the subscribe button for me? Meriwether Williams, thank you. Hit the subscribe. And it should take you to another link. That'll be to your left. So maybe scroll back to your left a little bit. And it'll show you after you hit subscribe. What'll happen is that it'll give you a click down menu, and you can either subscribe to the calendar or you can set yourself up to get a weekly email. So again, just so it's clear, if you hit the subscribe button and you scroll to the left, it's going to give you a page that says subscribed industry events, and you can get a weekly email, or you can subscribe to the calendar, and it's going to notify you when events are happening so that you can set yourself up to come and hear about new opportunities at Metro or with any of our sister agencies. But thank you for helping me with that, walk through that. Also, I want to tell you that when you download an RFP, maybe that you're interested in, then your name is also going to be added to what they call the plan holders list. And then you will be notified that way, and you will be placed into a database. And when specific things come up, maybe in your wheelhouse, you can get notifications about that as well. So, I believe that will be it for me. Angela, I'm going to turn the microphone back over to you, but I will say that what we talked about today, about the questions that Jean had, and then we'll do some number crunching for our DVBE goals that we've set, and where we are with those goals. And I can get that information back over to you in writing for your group.
Perfect. Okay. Thank you so much, Jan. We really appreciate you taking time. I know Metro's got a ton of projects going on over there, and I'm glad that you find value in stopping by to speak with our veterans, and especially walking them through the navigation of the portals. That's always one of the really sticklers and one of the barriers for small businesses trying to get into, contracts and the navigation, the portals with all of that. So again, thank you so much and Rena, thank you again for for being her ears and eyes and being able to make that very real.
That's right. I really appreciate that. And I just want to follow up with this, Angela, and just saying that, we realize that our small businesses are in a predicament, from time to time, and we really do our best to provide these programs and initiatives so that we can help our small businesses get some of the action. And we are really passionate about it. And as you were encouraging the gentleman that was speaking right before me, and I can't stress it enough, hang in there, because, the more you press it, something is going to break. We never know when, but we know that it's possible, and that, small businesses are doing it. So here at Metro and DEOD, we are definitely passionate about helping our small businesses succeed. And we do everything we possibly can to make sure that that's a reality for them. So I
Great.
appreciate being here.
Thank you, Jan. It's a pleasure to have you back every year to really give us an update on how to navigate. And so we
Absolutely.
appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you so much.
You're
All righty.
welcome.
So the person that you heard asking the questions is one of the real big advocates for policy for veterans. And I just want to introduce him formally and have him just take a few minutes to just, kind of give some hints and tips on how to really navigate this thing here. His name is Gene Hale. He is DVBE, and he is the CEO of GNC Equipment Corporation. The company is engaged in the sale and lease of construction equipment, materials, and supplies. As I said, he's a registered disabled veteran business enterprise, and he's currently the chairman of the Greater Los Angeles African American Chamber of Commerce and chairman of the Gardena Police Foundation. So welcome, Gene, and just take a few minutes of how to kind of navigate some of this stuff for our small businesses.
Well, thank you, Angela, and thanks to all of you who have joined us today. Glad to be part of this. Yeah, I think that there's some tremendous opportunities here for our veterans, and I think that the explanation that was given about navigating the process is very important. As was mentioned, I think by the person who was giving the presentation, that the federal government has increased the service-disabled veteran goals to, I think, 5 or 6%. And I think that once Metro get that going, I think that veterans will be in a better shape to get this going too. I think one of the most important things is how you market yourself to these general contractors that are bidding these projects. I think it's very important that you point out to them that not only are you SBE, but a DVBE as well. And when you're talking with them, I think it's important that you explain to them your services and how they can capture this credit. One of the things that I do all the time with marketing letters, once we see a RFP that has the veteran goals in there, we have a automated marketing system here where we immediately send out these letters asking for an audience with them to try to get in front of the estimators to talk to them about being a partner on these projects. And so I think that's the key right there when you are trying to market yourself to these contractors, is to try to get to the person who is putting the bid together. And that would be your estimator. The estimator is the ones that's really looking for the small businesses and the veterans to help make their goals. So I think just keep that in mind, that those are the people that you want to really reach out to. I know the small business people are very helpful in directing you to those people, but I think that you might have to do your own homework by going to the website and finding out who is that person that you could direct some information to. But I think in the long run, there's some great opportunities here. So I think it's just a matter of getting in front of the right person to present your credentials to. I know I've been doing this a long time, and it's a hit and miss, but at least you got your information out there. It's like in marketing, you might get a 20% return on a 100% mailing, but you got to keep putting the information out there. So, and then you got to go out and visit the clients too. I know that in today's era, everyone does things through AI and emails and things like that, but you still have to go meet the people. People are still people. They still like to meet people. And so I've probably met about 95% of all my clients over the years in person. And, because, it's just like shaking hands and just exchanging ideas about the weather, your families and stuff like that, that really help build these relationships. And I think that's very important for us to do. So just want to drop that in on you. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask me about anything else in this area.
Okay.
Be happy to answer any questions.
Great. Thank you, Gene. And it's so true about shaking hands and meeting people face to face and in the eye and creating those personal relationships. So thank you so much for taking time out and joining us. Stick around.
Yep.
Great. Okay. Our next speaker, we had a little technical issues trying to get him here, but is Muhammad here?
Yes, I'm on.
Oh, hi. Okay. Muhammad Hussein is from Versatile Consulting, and he is currently a program participant. Thank you for your service. And he's going to give us his take on the contractor development and bonding program and talk to you about the benefits that you can expect when you sign up. Mohammed?
Yes, thanks for having me, Angela. And good to see all the veterans online there. Gene, I was at the LAUSD meeting the other day, and I saw they upped their participation to 5%. So I think that is the goal federally maybe mandated, and it's trickling down to all the agencies.
Great.
But yeah, I'll just briefly talk about what what we were doing. So we established the company several years ago. We have been doing some small jobs, and then we have got a contract as a sub with the Valley Transit Partners for one of the metro stations. The scope of the work was more than twice the size of what we had done previously. And one of the things that we don't really think about as we are kind of pursuing these jobs is that how we're going to get bonded for those, right? So that's when, luckily, I had connected with Fawn maybe a few months before that. And then way before that, we were doing a job walk, and Meriwether had a rep there, kind of briefly talked about how they can help with the city programs out there for the city jobs for small businesses. So I had that contact at that time. I didn't think much of it. I just took that down, but that came into use further down. But it is my personal experience has been it's more than almost like getting a mortgage for a house. It's massive application process. Multiple entities are involved, from SBA to escrow companies and all that. But luckily, I've been working with the team out there at Meriwether and Williams. They are the whole team is really helping us out. There are 4 or 5 POCs out there helping us through the process. And we're towards the tail end of it now, and we are approved, but we're still setting up the escrow, doing the forms and all that. So, my advice is that as you are sort of targeting jobs, kind of look at the scope and engage with Meriwether and Williams early on to get some of that process completed, or at least understand what it entails. Um, it is a process. And then at the very end, we found out that our SBE, small business certification, was not current with Metro, although we have one with DGS, and they're two different ones. And the rigor that Metro puts into their SBE certification is, I would say, tenfold than what it is with DGS. So we're going through that now and trying to expedite that, trying to meet the bonding timeline, and so we can start work there. So bottom line, it is a process. It has to be thought through early in the development cycle, and then sort of stay in touch with the team and get that done. But that's all I had, Angela. You want me to touch on anything else?
No, that's quite enough. Like you said, start early and stay involved, and make sure that you go out and meet folks that can help you and get your bonding lined up early in the process. But congratulations on getting awarded the project,
Thank you.
and being a part of it. Yes. And again, thank you for your service. Yeah,
Thank you.
great. Stick around. Stick around. That's great. Thank you. All right. So we heard from a couple of people that are in the program. And as what I like to do normally is also then bring the veteran businesses on the line, some veteran resources. And so I've invited Amy Bravo, who is the program director with LA Veterans Collective, and she's one of my new contacts. And so she's going to introduce you to her organization, excuse me, and tell you about the resources that you can use. Welcome, Amy. You made it.
I made it. Yes, I'm borrowing my neighbor's internet, but we're here. So I apologize for that. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Amy Bravo. I am the director of the Los Angeles Veterans Collaborative, and it is a network of private, public, and government organizations that are all working together to help improve the lives of veterans and military families throughout Los Angeles County. So we do that through policy, advocacy, legislation. We do that through working with veteran funders groups to create innovation funds. And the purpose of why we exist is to share resources. Because if you live in Los Angeles and you're aware, there is no lack of resources for veterans and military families. But trying to navigate them is usually what the challenge is, right? Which ones are you eligible for, depending on when you served, where you served, how you were discharged. So what we created is this network to help fill in any gaps. So with that, through our network, we work with organizations such as our Veteran Peer Access Network that has battle buddies that help veterans kind of navigate all the resources. And we're broken up throughout the entire county of Los Angeles. And there's different ways to break it up, right? There's by spas. We have it broken up by supervisorial districts. So under every board supervisor, we have a VPAN team. We work with them to learn about the different barriers that the different regions of Los Angeles are experiencing. So if there's ever a need, right, there's ever something that you are trying to navigate and you're just like, I'm not getting the answers, I'm getting the runaround, or I'm not understanding what these benefits are, that's why we exist. Kind of like I'm the middleman to help kind of generate the information regarding these resources because it is a lot. It could be a lot. And then I think a lot of veterans also take some of those benefits for granted, or they just don't know about some of the benefits that exist for them, right? Because things change. Things change constantly, which is why we update our community about legislative changes, policy changes with LA County, the state of California, federally, because something that you weren't eligible for 2 years ago might have just changed in a current law that was just passed and now you're eligible for it and it's available to you. But if you don't know to look for that, if you don't know to try to access that information, then it becomes overwhelming. So we created what we call the weekly pulse. So every week on Wednesdays, we push out an email that just provides tools, some type of information on, like, for instance, we've done how to access burial benefits. We've talked about emergency financial services because, sometimes life gets ahead of us and things happen, like my internet going out. And so it's just meant to be a resource, a tool, something that, and not every week will be relevant to you. And sometimes you'll be like, oh my goodness, there's a bunch of legal services that offer free or low cost services for vets like myself. I had a buddy who needs help with their divorce, or I had a friend who needs assistance with their child support. And so that's what we aim to do is just kind of connect those resources, let everyone know what's available to them. And yeah, that is what I do. And thank you so much, Angela, for inviting me. Thank you for the grace of letting me be incredibly late to this meeting.
No, 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 not at all. Life be life, and as they say, things always happen. And I tell you, right. So I met Amy and joined in on one of the virtual webinars, and I mean, they were talking about a lot of resources, and there were lots of organizations on the line. And I'm just looking through with the weekly pulse now, and there was a veteran clothing allowance. I didn't even know that. Request a complete benefits review. Employment assistant, like you said, it may not be you that need this. Maybe you have a friend that needs this, but I'm telling you, this LA Veterans Collaborative has a ton of resources. And their next meeting is August 12th, and we'll send you information. And we'll also be talking again about this contractor development and bonding program. And so those of you that might want to join us, come on down. I'll send all the details later. But again, this is an excellent, excellent resource specifically for our veteran community. And so I just thought it was so important that Amy join us, come heck or high water, right? And and share this wonderful program with you. I really appreciate it. My newfound friend, Amy. Thanks, Amy.
Thank you. Thank you. And yes, I'll put my email in the chat if anyone wants to reach out. Just, yeah, anything you guys need, I am here.
Yeah, great. Great. Thank Okay. Renata, were there any other questions that needed to be answered in the chat?
There was a question from Nicholas mentioning Are there any other similar resources, other areas of California? Which I would assume that there is. However, we are here specifically speaking within Metro Southern California, but I'm not sure if Amy would like to hit on that topic based on her organization.
Yes, we do have
Well, I think he's saying Metro in Northern California, so to speak.
Metro. Okay,
Jan.
Metro, sorry.
I don't know if Jan was still here.
I know Metro
Yes, I'm still
has
here. I'm
BART.
sorry.
Oh yeah.
What was the question?
Any Metro opportunities within Northern California?
Well, I tell you what we do is Metro. Well, that's our SBE certification. I know that our SBE certification is reciprocal with Northern California's transportation agency, which is BART, right? The Bay Area Rapid Transit. And because if you have a Metro certification, but remember, we don't certify for DVBE, right? We only certify for SBE. At the moment, our DBE is on pause. So SBE at the moment, if there is an opportunity that happens in the Bay Area or in Northern California, and it may be part of the BART agency, and if you have a certification with Metro, if you wanted to pursue an opportunity in the Bay Area or in Northern California, well, they will accept your Metro certification. Now, what I don't know is if they will accept the DGS. I'm sure they would. I don't see any reason why they wouldn't. But if you have the DGS certification, then you can certainly pursue any type of contract or opportunities in Northern California. So it may not be Metro specific, but if you're certified with us, then they will accept the Bay Area Rapid Transit Agency will accept Metro certification. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. He wants to know, is there anything outside of BART in Northern California?
Not at the moment, no.
Mm-hmm. All right, very good. Thank you. All right, any other questions? Is there a job order contracting program for projects under the bid threshold to help DVEB firms get small jobs as they build a profile? Dan.
Yes, Metro, we have some job order contracting opportunities. Take a look at the open solicitations, and absolutely, they are there, and there's plenty of them as well. So be sure to take a look at that. Hopefully, there were some that were open last week, and like I said, this thing changes. I mean, it changes like the day, right? And hopefully there's still some job order contracting opportunities in our solicitations. So be sure to take a look at that. But yes, you would qualify for that as well.
Angela, you're on mute, but I don't see any other questions on the chat.
Okay, thank you, because I was speaking. Thanks. And again, I was saying that we hope you found value in today's presentations and hope that you will join our contractor development and bonding program. I'm going to be reaching out to all of you to see where your interest lies, what you may need help in. We're going to be following up with you, connecting you with Metro. And we'd also like to provide you with a little gift. If you could go back, we have a partnership with US Vets Magazine. And as part of our partnership, you can have a complimentary subscription, not just an issue, but an entire subscription. So you can scan the QR code and sign up. No credit card needed. It is complimentary to you. And it's, again, great magazine with lots and lots of veteran opportunities and information for you. And so we'll also include that when we send that back out. Okay, and then we will then go to the survey. We've got a survey that we would like your input on. And so, Irene, if you could bring up our survey, got lots of QR codes and opportunities and things to do. And Okay, if you could complete a survey for today's event, and we'll also send that out. So as mentioned, that concludes our program for today. We'd like to thank you guys for hanging out with us. I hope you found this of value. We're going to be reaching out to you. We'll be providing you with copies of this presentation, the recording, all of the handouts. Thank you so much for all of my DVBE guest speakers, Jean, Christian, Muhammad, and Amy. Thank you so much, Jan, for coming and hanging out and really walking us through that navigation. That is so important. You know, when small businesses sit down and do this kind of stuff, they just can become overwhelmed sometimes with how to go, where to click, how to find what to do, then go where and go how. And so you really brought that home with the most important things to do and how to click through and get that going. And so, yeah, thank you again so much. We appreciate Metro for convening this contractor development and bonding program. On behalf of Meriwether and Williams Insurance Services, Carlos, is there anything else? We'd like to thank you for your presentation. Rena, thank you for handling the audio visual. And Renata, thanks for managing the questions that are going on. So folks, we will be in touch. You will hear from me. All right, if there's nothing further, then thank you so much for joining us, and you guys have a great evening. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
All
Appreciate
righty.
it.
Bye-bye.
Angela. Bye.